Yorana, good afternoon and welcome to the Corona Cero post show here on opening day of competition for the Outerknown Tahiti Pro presented by IC. We've had a ton of rain the last couple of days here in Teahupo'o, but the swell was absolutely firing. We got to complete 6 heats, but it feels like a lot longer because we saw some unbelievable action. Easy to say that it was the heaviest day on tour so far as the world's best really being tested by a wave of consequence here at the end of the road. Thanks for being with us. Joe Turpel, Felicity Palmatier, and Jesse Mendez just sprinted back to join us for the Corona Cero post show. Jesse, it was a really impactful day for the year. You know, only 6 heats, but a lot to digest as far as the heaviest water that we've seen in 2026.
I mean, no doubt this is what we look the most to watch it online. It's so exciting. There's so much drama happening, big wipeouts, and it's what we're here for. This is one of the only spots that provides that, and we got here today, and yeah, first day of the event window, and it looks like it's going to be even bigger the next few.
There's a lot of question marks, even going into the morning, just with that southeast. Would we accomplish anything? And once we got things underway, I'm really happy that we did.
I'm happy we did, and I'm surprised. I just can't believe what the ocean delivered to us this morning. I mean, it only feels like 6 heats, but I think the reason it feels like so much more is because our emotions have just been on this crazy roller coaster from, you know, crazy wipeouts to amazing tube rides, and yeah, it's delivered some epic moments, and we're about to digest it all.
Yeah, big hats off to our crew that's out there in the weather, in the channel, guys like Jono, Chris Merritt. It's lumpy and bumpy out there. They're holding their shot to bring you divisions around the world. It included a lot of interesting waves that we had in the heat with Kauli Vaast and Crosby Colapinto today in round 2. Remember, Eimeo out of the contest to Seth Moniz, so then you look to Kauli to kind of carry the torch for the men representing the end of the road in Tahiti. Crosby eliminated Kauli Vaast here last year in the quarters. Things started pretty intense as they pushed each other up the reef, Jesse.
Yeah, that was very well read from Kauli. Just letting that first wave go that Crosby got, and then the second one a bit cleaner, and then this jam of a wave for today, much cleaner, big size, 8-point ride, excellent ride, and just, yeah, took the win.
Just kind of repeated a similar situation twice, Flick. Cros goes first, Kauli's on the better one, makes it, and regained priority 2 times.
Yeah, I think it is smart, right? We had Kelly in here briefly, and he was just saying, you know, that first wave of the set, how, you know, unmanageable it is because it's so rogue. It's got all that water. The second one, it draws off the reef really nice. The first one's come through and essentially groomed it. So just, you know, Kauli having the local pick out there and getting the job done.
Well, as we know, it's an interesting result now. You know, we're starting the back end of the season. Crosby's already been dabbling in 2 Challenger Series events. With a loss here in round 2, he's going to be doing double duty for the back end of the year, Jesse.
Yeah, you kind of have to. Sometimes that's the name of the game. Those guys are built for that, but it is taxing on your body and your mind, so just got to be ready.
For Kauli Vaast, he wants to win this thing, you know, for the championship tour. He's got the Olympic gold, but it's been a testing playground for local trialists. Now he's a full-timer to take this one for the hometown.
And it's going to feel good moving past that first heat. When I started looking at the heat draw and I saw he was matched up against Crosby, I was like, well, this is kind of a good matchup because Crosby, we know, loves to charge. But then if you start to see how that opens up, you know, throughout the rest of the heat draw, because most of the previous winners are down the bottom. Doesn't mean to say that the top's any easier, but when you start to factor in things like that and stats like that, maybe it opens up for Kauli now.
Things got very exciting. Well, a few weeks back when we heard Kelly Slater was the wild card for this event, just a million memories of the best ever to compete is coming back, and you're like, wait, he's 54. Can he still do it? He answered that question pretty quickly.
Better than anyone.
This morning.
Once again.
Just vintage form as he took on Eli Hanneman. And hats off to Eli Hanneman for just jumping off the roof of a 5-story building. On the other side of it, Kelly was lights out with decision making.
Oh, it's the reason he's the best to ever do it, right? It was incredible to watch this. I actually thought, I mean, as we watched that one, Joe, that you were just talking about, this incredible moment. You know, Kelly pushed him. He had to try and take off on waves like this because Kelly put him in a combo. I mean, he had 16 points. You know, when you factor in this one, which ended up being the 9, I was almost thinking, are they going to throw a 10 here? Yeah. Because I don't know what more you can do out there this morning. That was just like incredible, right? And for 54 years old, man, to be doing that is just, it's legendary, it's iconic. I don't think it'll ever be repeated in our sport, let alone another sport ever again. It's, I don't know, it leaves you speechless, really.
It's good to take a moment take a breath. We got to witness that today. This is something we're telling our kids now, going, hey, we got to watch Kelly in his prime.
Yeah.
Guess what? We're still doing
Crazy.
it. You know, it's like 9, 7, 2, 3. I had 10 feelings when that 9 came through, as he is moving on to the next round to take on Gabriel Medina, which was a final in the past. But he just looks happy. He's got a new baby once again, growing his family quickly, and I just haven't seen him look this content in a while. He's comfortable. He's at Chopes, and with a wild card performance like that, this is usually a turning point in him. If he starts off an event like this, look out. He typically goes all the way.
And what's on his side is the forecast. Like, you know, if it's a small kind of rippable day, yeah, his level is probably going to get much lower in comparison to the tour surfers. But in barrel conditions, as big as it is, he's literally as good as anyone.
Yeah, and coming through with the best performance on a chunky day today. You know, we had locals out there as well, and I think Kelly's you could call him a local basically anywhere in the world with all of his reps and experience. For him running into Medina, where do we go from there?
Oh, man. Why does it have to happen so early? It's so crazy. I mean, that's just how stacked the draw is. But, I mean, I'm rubbing my hands together to watch that heat. What number is it? It is heat 13 of that next round. But I think to your point, Joe, when you were saying, you know, when he gets on a roll from the beginning stages, it's scary. And I think Strider said as he came out of the tube on the 9, he was screaming, "Let's go!" So I feel like that's a scary thing, and that's a scary Slater for Medina to be watching and coming up against.
Well, we think about an award that you want to achieve during this event is the Mophie Charger Contender of the event, and with 6 heats run today, let's watch more Kelly Vision. That 9-point ride was so thick. He read it so well, looked comfortable in some heavy water, Jesse.
I mean, he makes it look too easy. Like, does it justice of how gnarly that wave was. Just the perfect spot he took off, and he just rides it perfectly. Lets the rail go, pumps it once or twice with no hands, and yeah, he knows his wave like it's the back of his hand. It's incredible.
Look at that read from Kelly. Took a breath, was waiting for a 10. We'll take a 9 this early in the event. Another 9 for him. He's got into the 40s, almost 50, 9+ rides, just going back to 2008. That doesn't even count his win in 2000 and beyond. So he is absolutely on a roll. We did mention his matchup earlier. Round 2 is a heavyweight heat with himself and Gabriel Medina. A lot of round 2 matchups to look forward to that can really impact the world title race with some big heats, even the one that we didn't finish that had to restart with Iago and Seth Moniz. As we check out the round 2 heats that we've already delivered, Crosby out, Samuel Pupo out to Al Cleveland Jr. Tomorrow, if we're on, it'll be straight into Iago Dora versus Seth Moniz.
I mean, you're out in the water, you already got your nerves in, and then you kind of, mellowed out, and then all of a sudden you might be able to surf tomorrow with 15-foot waves. What's the dinner going to be like? Well, how are you going to sleep after, First heat of the day. Oh, here we go.
Oh, wow. I mean, you're going to be nervous, but maybe there's someone like Seth who's already surfed the one heat. He's kind of like, okay, well, maybe I get a little bit of a break, but I don't know. I just don't know what tomorrow's going to bring when you look. I mean, all these guys, if it is on, they're going to absolutely charge. But, there's been murmurs of a potential tow day, maybe, bordering on that. So we'll have to wake up and see. But I guess it's going to be a bit of a sleepless night for these guys. Just wondering what the morning's going to bring,
100%. World number 1, Leo Fioravanti, will have Ramsey booking him in Heat 9. Siblick versus Chianca. Joao's just ready to compete anytime he comes to Chopes. Kanoa takes on Alejo. George Pitar has Cole Hauschman in the draw. And if you guys check out Cole's Instagram, he had a 2-wave hold down this morning, then the board to the face. His lip is cut open, and I hit him up about it. He said he's at easy call, closest I've ever come to drowning in my life.
Oh, my goodness.
That happened to Cole this morning. So he's recovering from that, and also in the back of his mind going, it's even bigger tomorrow. We'll see what the day brings, Jesse.
I don't think people realize how sketchy it is. Like, doesn't it justice when you're seeing on the camera only. Like, out there is like definitely a whole nother beast.
Griffin also with Rio Waida. That back end of the draw is really heavy, stacked with past champs like Miguel Pupo and with Jack Robinson. Let's dive further into the forecast, though, with Surfline. Big thanks to Schaller Perry. Called it really well today with that southeast wind. Got 6 heats accomplished, and he told us early that tomorrow will be the biggest, scariest day of the waiting period.
Oh, man. I mean, there's no shortage of purple blobs getting around on this map, is there? And when you really look at the whole Surfline forecast for the next week, we've got no shortage of swell. You can see that next big blob moving up there. But tomorrow, I am so intrigued. I mean, we had Kelly in here before, and he was talking about maybe thinking it's going to be a bit bigger than what everyone thinks. So, yeah, I'm going to be interested to see. We're also going to have the same sort of window, right? So we're going to have that to deal with as well as you move through into the week. Next week, we're going to have plenty of swell. It drops off a little bit, but maybe a little bit more favourable winds as we move through that waiting period. So something to keep an eye on. But Jesse, I mean, look at tomorrow morning. Holy moly, there's 20 foot on the board right there.
I mean, with the wind factor too, creating, you know, all that wind swell coming from the southeast, just jacks everything up, makes it even tougher.
Oh, what a scary scenario with that cross onshore breeze, that really strong southeast anticipated for tomorrow. So we'll see if we do get round to completed. We'll wake up and check. It's not called off, so I think they want to take a look to see how scary that it might be. Earlier today, we got to really check in with the Coral Gardner crew and also WSL One Ocean to look at the great work that's been happening for several years now. Check this out.
The improvements of reef restoration goes beyond the ecological impact. Planting corals is planting hope. Coral Gardeners started in 2017 in here, Moorea, French Polynesia. We started that project to help and restore coral reefs around our islands, French Polynesia, and across the globe. We've been collaborating with the World Surf League since 2019. At first, some surfers came to Moorea. Then we started to go in Teahupo'o and put some corals in nurseries with local kids from Teahupo'o and as well some of the surfers of the WSL.
We need to reserve and keep the coral healthy for us to be able to breathe beautiful, clean air.
People don't realize how much of a big role they play in our ecosystem.
Since our collaboration with the WSL, we've created full restoration cycles in Teahupo'o. We've grown corals to maturity in the nurseries, outplanted them onto the reef and reseeded the nurseries with new corals, bringing new life to the lagoon. Our work in Teahupo'o, in collaboration with the WSL and the local community, has brought more marine life back into the lagoon. It's creating a healthier ecosystem for the fish and species that depend on the reef. They shape the waves across the islands, so it's a living playground for many people. Underwater, when you plant more corals, you see more fish coming back. Reefs are so important, and if we lose it, we can lose a huge part of the ocean.
Absolutely fantastic to look at that great relationship that still is underway with Coral Gardeners and WSL One Ocean, and a lot of top pros getting involved with the movement and protecting the coral, planting new coral for future generations and wildlife to make our ocean a better place. Yagador and Seth Moniz got called off in the middle of their heat. They're on deck for some giant surf potentially tomorrow morning. But with 6 heats run, it was one of the more impactful days of the season. So pretty hard to really establish that top 5 of the Corona Cero post show. But always, you know, the glory of the ride and the make is incredible. But sometimes the wipeout sometimes provides great entertainment when you know they're okay.
Yes.
Coming in at number 5, making the top 5 of the list is, the beauty, the power, and maybe the nightmare of Teahupo'o. We saw some crazy power.
Man.
Jake Marshall this morning went upside down.
I feel like as far as injury, that was the worst one, potentially. Like, it's so sketchy when you fall that way.
Oh, my goodness. I mean, that was just in the free surf, right? And then we had the heat itself. That was Ramsey there that just got clipped. And then, well, who's this? Matty McGilvray just going over to. I mean, he spent a lot of time underwater in this heat. A couple of reef tours, I believe. He had to do the whole trip of the lagoon a couple of times.
And then he went to get picked up at the ski, but there's not enough time. Oh my gosh, that was hero helmet right there for him. Just give him all the props you can. Like, just for him to swing under that thing, that was incredible.
Eli Hanneman, what a madman.
I feel like that was almost tolerable that way. They've got a huge bit of coral head stuck in his board.
That was crazy. No wonder we felt we did more than 6 heats, because we're just using all of our energy watching these wipeouts. Out number 4 on the daily top 5. It was a huge matchup. Eimeo Czermak, one of the biggest reputation at Chopes, won the trials and had the lead in this one over Seth Moniz until that clutch moment, passing the 5-minute mark, and Seth Moniz was able to turn things around and get the win. Number 3 on the list, Seth.
Oh, Seth, I mean, this was really clutch. He waited a long time with priority, and while Eimeo was, catching waves underneath him, to thread this one under pressure, a couple of minutes, maybe not even left on the clock, such a long technical tube, and just the mental strength to sit there that long with priority and really wait for the perfect wave that you're looking for. It speaks volumes to the kind of competitor he is, and that's how we kind of knew he would approach this heat with all that CT experience.
Well done for Seth. Moving on, he's got Yago Dora, number 2 on the list. Local knowledge prevails for Kauli Vaast, Jesse.
Yeah, beautiful surfing from him. This wave here, obviously, it was clear in everyone's head that it was an excellent wave. Just beautiful read. Kicks off right in front of Crosby, has a backup of a 5-point something. Crosby kind of fought back on his heat, made it very exciting, got one wave under priority, and he was still in search for another one.
Great job to Kauli Vaast. Moving on and winning the Corona Cero Post Show and the daily top 5 is 11-time world champ Kelly Slater.
Oh, it's the GOAT, and he's back, and it's like he never left. It's just absolutely incredible how technical. All these rides had something different to sort of talk about, from like levels of technicality, and just also the level of comfortability. He didn't look like he was holding on. He was just so casual in the approach as well, just leisurely in his stance. It was cool to watch. I'm really, really looking forward to his next matchup against Gabe too.
Kelly versus
the heat of the
Gabe.
event. Yeah.
Final in 2014. Gabriel Medina won. That was a long time ago. 2026. Is there going to be a change in that result when we get to round 2, Jesse?
I mean, no matter what, it's going to be big, so that's what I'm excited about. Like, I don't think you can run from it, like, really. Like, there's 4 or 5 days of big conditions, so they're going to have to serve in one of those.
I was really surprised to look at their matchup history. 8-2 in Gabe's favor over Kelly. That's a lot of wins. And those wins include being undefeated over Kelly at Pipe, at Fiji, at Tahiti. All these waves of consequence. Really interesting. A lot of those heats are incredibly close.
Yep.
But we'll see if that turns when it comes to game day.
I just feel with the kind of energy we saw from Kelly and how fired up, I feel like, he isn't competing every day now. And just to see the excitement and how much he was talking about just going to keep the adrenaline down and how fired up he was, I think we could see some fireworks. I don't know what way it's going to go. I can't pick it really, but when we had him in the booth, he seemed pretty fired up. He seemed like he was like, yeah, all right, cool. Let's get it done early then. That was his words.
Absolutely love it. Love it. Thanks so much, team. Jesse, Flick, thanks so much for watching opening day of the Outerknown Tahiti Pro presented by IC. That's it for the Corona Cero Post Show. We'll leave you with the highlights of a really incredible day, and we'll see you bright and early tomorrow at 7 a.m. local time for a potential start of round 2 once again. Take good care.
This copyrighted event broadcast is produced by the World Surf League for broadcast around the world and may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the written consent of the World Surf League.